In the year 1095, Pope Urban II made a passionate call at the Council of Clermont. This call was no ordinary plea, it was a thundering summons that changed the course of history. Pope Urban II, a man of faith and power, stood before the council, his voice echoing through the hallowed halls. He urged Christian warriors across Europe to rise and liberate the Holy Land from Muslim control. His words were not just persuasive, they were incendiary, igniting a fervor that spread like wildfire from the heart of France to the far reaches of Europe. Men of all walks of life, whether they were kings or peasants, were moved by the Pope's call. They pledged their swords and their lives, stirred by a potent mix of faith, duty, and the promise of eternal salvation. The Pope's call was heard far and wide, resonating through the corridors of time. And thus, the stage was set for the First Crusade. Thousands, noble and peasant alike, took up the cross, setting off on a perilous journey. This mass movement, a pilgrimage of warriors, marked the First Crusade. They journeyed from the heart of Europe to the coveted city of Jerusalem. The route was fraught with danger, from hostile territories to the harsh realities of disease and hunger. Despite these daunting obstacles, the Crusaders forged ahead, driven by a potent blend of piety, desperation, and the promise of spiritual and earthly rewards. The siege of Jerusalem in 1099 was a brutal affair, with the city falling to the Crusaders after a grueling 5-week battle. The aftermath was a chilling spectacle of violence, with the streets awash in blood as the Crusaders unleashed their pent-up rage and desire for plunder. The First Crusade, despite its brutality, was deemed a success, sparking subsequent expeditions. The flame ignited by Pope Urban II at Clermont had indeed spread far and wide, forever changing the course of history. The success of the First Crusade ignited a series of further expeditions. The Second Crusade, triggered by the fall of the Christian-held Edessa, ended in failure. Yet, it was followed by the Third Crusade, often glorified as the King's Crusade. This was a high-profile event with the likes of Richard the Lionheart, King of England, and Saladin, the formidable Muslim leader, clashing in epic battles. The narrative of the Crusades continued to twist and turn. The Fourth Crusade, intended to recapture Jerusalem, veered off course, famously sacking the Christian city of Constantinople instead. This shocking event highlighted the shifting goals and complex politics of the era. In the years that followed, further crusades were launched, some major, some minor, some even led by children. The motivations and outcomes varied wildly, reflecting the changing tides of power, religious fervor, and personal ambition. Each crusade had its tale of heroism, betrayal, and intrigue. Beyond the battlefield, the Crusades were a melting pot of cultures. The Crusader states, carved out in the heart of the Middle East, became a curious intersection for the East and West. Here, cultural lines blurred and cross-pollination of ideas ensued. In this unusual setting, the Western knights, clad in their chainmail, encountered the refined civilization of the East. They marveled at the advanced sciences, sophisticated art, and intricate architecture. The influence was reciprocal. The East too absorbed elements from the West, and this intermingling shaped the course of both societies. However, this cultural exchange did not come without conflict. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, occasionally erupting into violence. These clashes were a grim reminder of the underlying religious and political divides that had sparked the Crusades. Yet, amidst the turmoil, there was growth. New ideas took root, societies evolved, and the world was never the same again. The Crusades, though fraught with conflict, were also a time of cultural exchange and growth. The reverberations of the Crusades were profound and far-reaching. This tumultuous era of faith and warfare didn't just leave its mark on the battlefield, but also on the political and cultural fabric of Europe and the Middle East. The Crusades changed the game of power, setting the stage for the rise and fall of empires. In Europe, the power of the papacy grew, while monarchs leveraged crusading fervor to consolidate their rule. Over in the Middle East, the Crusades brought about shifts in regional dynamics, with new powerhouses emerging in the wake of the conflict. The Crusader states, though short-lived, became centers of cultural exchange, where East met West in a fusion of arts, science, and ideas. But the Crusades also sowed the seeds of future conflicts, sparking tensions that would smolder for centuries. And yet they left behind an enduring legacy, influencing our understanding of faith, politics, and humanity. The Crusades altered the political landscape, leaving an enduring legacy. In time, the Crusader states began to wane. As the 12th century drew to a close, the once powerful Christian fortresses found their foundations shaken. The Crusaders' grip on the Holy Land began to loosen, and the balance of power started to shift. The Muslim world, united under powerful dynasties such as the Ayyubids and later the Mamluks, began to regain lost territories. The city of Jerusalem, the heart of the Crusades, slipped from the Crusaders' grasp in 1187 under the leadership of the charismatic Sultan Saladin. The final blow came with the fall of Acre in 1291, marking the end of Christian rule in the Holy Land. The Crusader states were no more. Yet, the echoes of their existence were far from silenced. The Crusader states fell, but their impact continues to resonate in our world today. Their story is a testament to the enduring influence of faith, power, and human ambition on the course of history.